Your Amazon business is taking off. You're selling consistently. Your brand is growing. And now you're wondering, what's next? Do you add more products, increase inventory? In today's episode, we're diving into the most challenging yet rewarding part of your Amazon journey, controlled expansion. I'll show you how to scale up without burning out, run your ads profitably, and expand your brand to make consistent, life-changing income on Amazon. This is episode 7 of 8 as part of my 2025 remake series, 5 years after recording those revolutionary episodes in 2020. Let's get into it. There's one big challenge with scaling. Every brand owner will face this guaranteed at some point. It's 2 magic words that will make or bankrupt you. Cash flow. Expanding your inventory, adding new products, and running ads all take cash up front. Most of us aren't walking around with a massive budget. And if you don't manage cash well, you'll hit a wall fast, likely within the first 6 to 8 months of launch. But here's the good news. With smart planning, you can scale effectively even on limited funds. In this episode, I'll walk you through managing inventory, launching new products, outsourcing work, and using ads strategically, all while keeping your costs under control. When it comes to the cash flow conundrum, I've also got another essential podcast episode, 314, that's 314, to go listen to, or even better, watch the video on my channel because I do a lot of writing on screen to explain it all. I'll link to the video below as well. Okay, the first big challenge, keeping up with inventory as your sales grow. A big mistake I see is sellers waiting too long to reorder and then running out of stock, which kills momentum and can cost you big on Amazon search rankings. Here's a simple plan. Start with a small order, reinvest profits, and increase quantities gradually. Let's say you start by ordering 500 units. Keep a close eye on sales velocity or sales per day early on. Amazon will even update you daily with a metric of days of inventory remaining so you know exactly when you're going to run out. Know that metric of days remaining and know your lead time to get a restock from your supplier. When the days of inventory gets close to your lead time, ideally give yourself a 2 or 3 week buffer. Email your supplier for reorder. Remember, if your supplier is legit, they'll only require 30 to 50% of the payment upfront and the rest upon completion of the product. So you don't need all of the cash on hand to get the next batch of inventory in production. If your supplier will let you go net 30 days upon delivery, that gives you even more time to make that final payment. Do not forget to negotiate payment terms as you build trust with your supplier. It can save your business from sinking. A good business credit card can also buy you some time here. Just be careful of that APR, which can get nasty really quick on you. Now let's talk about expanding your product line. You don't need 50 different products to be successful. Sometimes even a few can create a full-time income, but adding more products strategically can diversify your income and make scaling easier. Let's say that you're selling that 5x7 photo frame and you're selling 10 units a day. Then you add an 8x10 version or a set of frames. Instead of selling 10 units of one product, you're selling 10 of each variation, spreading out risk and boosting sales. Once you've got that one product that's profitable and consistent, start researching your next one. The moment you feel stable with inventory and cash flow on product 1, it's time to move on to product 2. And even if that first product isn't profitable, it still might be time to commit and move on to product 2. One of my favorite recent podcast interviews on my channel is with Connor from Enhanced Pickleball. He understood that his first product may not be a winner, which it wasn't. But by committing and focusing on consistently adding new products, win or lose, over the long run, he would win, which he is winning. That's episode 353, by the way. Now for something that can be uncomfortable, delegating. One of the biggest growth hacks is learning to outsource. When you're handling every little task yourself, product photos, ad campaigns, bookkeeping, it's easy to get overwhelmed and lose focus. If there's something you're not an expert at, consider paying someone else to do it. For example, instead of struggling with product photos, hire a photographer to get it done right. Time is money, and if you're spending weeks learning taxes or designing, that's taking away from your business scaling. Focus on what you do best and let experts handle the rest. Oh wow, that's got a nice ring to it. Using paid advertising to drive growth. This is the game changer that separates sellers who make 6 figures from those who can't sell an umbrella in a rainstorm. If you want your product to take off, Amazon PPC ads are essential. 5 years ago, ads were optional. Now they're required. Amazon ain't dumb. This is free money for them with no overhead. Does it suck for us? Yes. But so does working the graveyard shift at Walgreens. Welcome to entrepreneurship. Now, I know the thought of ad costs can be intimidating, but think of ads as an investment that fuels sales. When you start, even $10 to $20 a day on Amazon PPC can make a difference. Search ads, or what we call sponsored product ads, get your product in front of shoppers who are already looking for it. Now, going deep into the strategy of PPC would turn this episode into a 10-hour ordeal. I've got a lot of videos on my channel where I show you how to do this. Check out my PPC playlist on my YouTube channel for more. Advertising helps your product show up when people search for those terms, especially early on when you have no reviews or ranking. And it can get you those first few sales very quickly. Once you start getting sales, keep an eye on your ACoS. That's your advertising cost of sales metric. This metric shows if you're profitable or not. For example, if your ACoS is 30% and you're making a 50% profit before ads, you're making money on each sale. 20% profit in this case. A realistic goal to work towards in 2025 for Amazon FBA is 30% organic profit, like we talked about in the previous episodes, and 15% net profit after PPC sales are also accounted for. I tell all my coaching students this, but here are some more benchmarks to strive towards. In your first months 1 through 3, strive for a 120% ACoS or lower. Now, again, depending on your product, your budget, your mission, your goal, this could be different, but generally across the board, if you're sitting around 120%, you're probably doing a decent job. Months 3 through 6, strive to get your ACoS down to 60 to 80%. Again, you're still not going to be profitable from your advertising sales, but this shows that your ads are starting to optimize and you're putting time and attention there. In months 6 through 9, strive for a 40 to 60% ACoS. This is when you will start to get very close, hopefully, to profitability with your ads. Again, these are very generalized goals from my own results and the dozens of student brands and clients that we've worked with. You can definitely do better than this, but please try not to do worse. When you're expanding, cash flow will always be a challenge. It's a balancing act, but with some planning, you can keep scaling without hitting cash flow problems. As you prove your brand and product early, do not be afraid of debt. Debt is your friend when used properly. It's like a chainsaw. When used skillfully and safely, it can greatly speed up your task of cutting trees or logs. But when handled recklessly, you'll massacre your business. We've used credit cards, loans, investors, lines of credit, all of those to grow our business, and we still do. So does almost every successful business. It's very unlikely that you'll be able to bootstrap your brand to 7 figures from your very first investment, and that's okay. Reinvest profits and use outside funding as needed. Just be smart about it. Scaling an Amazon business is all about controlled, steady growth, one product, one ad, one order at a time. Master these basics: inventory, product expansion, outsourcing, ads, and you're setting yourself up for the big results. In the next episode, I'll be sharing some of my biggest lessons and mistakes from scaling our own Amazon business. Once again, guys, I'm Andy. You're listening to or watching Selling on Amazon with MZy&x. See you in the next episode.